Hello and welcome to Scene Invaders. I am Dan, and I'm going to talk about The White Lotus. I didn't think I was going to cover this show, but a few Discord members asked me to, and then I saw it in a YouTube comment under Severance. We're also covering Severance and Yellow Jackets, so it's a bit much with a full-time job, but I watched the first episode, and goddamn, this show is good. I mean, I love Season 1, I really enjoyed Season 2, but this season is different in a good way. I mean, it starts off not with a murder, but with a...
There was a firefight!
Literally an all-out shooting. So, who's the target? Who gets killed? We see when Zion, Belinda's son, is in the water. We see at least one body float by. How many people are killed? And it's just so much to go with. So many theories to be had. We're going to talk about episode 2. I'm going to break that down. And then after that, I'm going to say my favorite parts. And if you guys are new to this channel, what we usually do is when we cover a show, we do theory videos based off of your comments. So comment your theories below and we'll make videos off of them. So yeah, get your theories in. There's a lot to talk about. And to tell you the truth, I didn't think I would be as interested without Jennifer Coolidge as Tanya in the show. You know, of course, she got killed last season. I still hear the noise of her head hitting the boat or whatever she hit. And if you don't remember the noise, here it is.
You got this.
Brutal. Want to hear it again? Yeah, she went out and Greg got away with all of her money. And he's going by Gary now. So yeah, let's talk about episode 2. So last week was a great setup. I thought it was a really good opener. That's what got me hooked. That's what made me want to review this show. And from now on, I'm going to get these reviews out much more earlier in the week since I know I'm covering it now. So episode 2 is called Special Treatments, and it picks up right where episode 1 left off. And we have many dysfunctional guests this season. They're all still jet lagged. They're all still sipping cocktails and pretending that the wellness retreat is going to fix their messy lives. But Mike White, the guy behind this show, he writes and directs I think every episode. He's not going to let people relax for too long. The fans, that is. The fans of his show. Because he throws shit in there. There's a scene I'm going to talk about later that I really enjoyed in this episode that I didn't see coming. This episode kind of felt like a slow burn until that moment, the robbery, that I'm going to break down in a bit. Yeah, that was crazy. So let's talk about our core groups, right? We got the trio of girlfriends that are frenemies, I guess. I mean, it seems like they hate each other. Is anyone else getting that vibe? At least Kate feels that way, played by Leslie Bibb. And actually, this cast is phenomenal. I mean, we have Jacqueline, Michelle Monaghan, Laurie, Carrie Coon. If you've never seen The Leftovers, do yourself a favor and watch The Leftovers. She is so good in that. Then you have the Rattet family. Parker Posey is the mom. Jason Isaacs, the dad. One of the best villains of all time in The Patriot. And then their kids, you know, Piper and Lachlan. I haven't seen them before. But of course, Saxon is played by Patrick Schwarzenegger. And I think he's doing a really good job, even though he's a little creepy. So yeah, it opens up with Kate and Jacqueline gossiping about Laurie while she's off screen and she's not there to defend herself, talking about her divorce, saying how messed up her kid is. I'm going to talk about that later in one of my favorite scenes. But, you know, everything. Just basically shitting on her life, but in a nice way. But she still looks great, doesn't she? Yeah, but she looks tired, like being a bitch about it, right? And then later on, Kate does the same thing to Jacqueline when she's with Laurie alone, talking shit on her. So she's playing both sides.
The reason I'm telling you all this is because I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
But yeah, these three seem like a ticking time bomb. I don't know who's gonna snap first. I could see it being Jacqueline because she's like the famous one who's paying for this trip. I could also see it being Laurie. I mean, Kate's the one that's playing both sides, and she's kind of the shit stirrer, so to speak. So I don't think it'll be her. Maybe Laurie. I think Carrie Coon really has the acting chops to pull that kind of scene off. So that would be really fun to see. But then you got the Ratliff family, and let's be honest. Could they have just named them the Lannisters? Because do all of the siblings want to bang each other? Does anyone else see that? Am I crazy? I mean, you got the sexual tension between Lachlan and Piper. I saw that from the very first episode when they were talking together, like, oh, come to the temple with me. It was just weird, right? And then you have Saxon who says, oh, how am I going to jerk off in front of you? Oh, I guess I'll go to the bathroom. Walks butt naked into the bathroom and then decides to shut the door. It's really weird. It seems like they all want to have sex. Am I weird for saying that? Do you guys feel that way too? Let me know in the comment section. And then their dad, Timothy, he's in some shit, right? He's got a lot of shit that he's going to have to deal with. Gets a lawyer by the end of the episode. He's trying to get on the phone with Kenny the whole episode, who's played by Ki-Hoo Kwan, who I absolutely loved in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which he won an Oscar for. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder if we'll see him in an episode or if he'll just be a voice, because he did threaten to unalive himself in this episode. So we'll see. Maybe we won't see him. And yeah, the mom, Victoria, played by Parker Posey, she's popping pills like I was 4 years ago. don't do drugs. But yeah, she has a problem, and she's drinking with it as well, which makes it much worse. You could totally black out in those situations. So she's a mess. They're like this perfect family, right? That aren't perfect. They're kind of pieces of shit outside of Piper and Lachlan, maybe. I didn't get enough on those characters yet, but Saxon, you can tell he's a dickhead because he was expecting a happy ending with his massage.
And no happy ending.
So yeah, you can tell what he's all about.
Gross.
What? Aren't they all supposed to be a little special?
And then you got Rick and Chelsea, right? Chelsea's my favorite character so far.
You're gonna have loads in common with him.
Yeah, like what?
You both old?
You got Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood, and they're killing it as the odd couple duo. I really like their scenes together, and I like their scenes with Greg now going by Gary, which I can't wait to see more about. What he's up to. We get a little bit of it in this episode, how he changed his name to Gary and he moved to Thailand and he's living this fake life with this girlfriend who Rick thinks is a hooker. So we'll see if that's true. I don't know. But yeah, he's a piece of shit and I hope he gets caught this season. And maybe he's the one that gets killed. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Rick's just obsessed with the resort's owner, right? And he wants to find the husband, which later on he's going to go to Bangkok to go to try to find him. So what's his deal? What does he want with this guy? I have no idea yet, but he's probably trying to scheme him, or he has some dirt on him, or something along those lines. Because he went to this place to find this guy, right? And he's not there, so now he's going to leave Chelsea there for 2 days and then come back. I can't wait to see what happens with that storyline. Really interesting stuff. All right, and then the robbery. Armed robbery, all right? White Lotus gift shop, and he steals jewelry. And Chelsea's there. She thinks she's going to get killed. She says it a few times throughout the episode. Guy Talk, the security guard who's in love with Mook, felt so bad for him. I swear to you guys, my first theory here, Vale set that up. I have such a feeling about that. He came up to the window and he stalled for time. The gate was opened and he was talking to him. Oh, I like your moves, your fighting stance. Oh, do you want to come to this fight? And then the guy drives right in, right? It just seemed a little too convenient. I think that Valentine might have set that up. But yeah, let's talk about Greg some more. So he's gone by Gary and he's living on a hill overlooking the resort with his girlfriend, Chloe. So the scene between Chloe, Rick, Gary, and Chelsea was weird. It was like they were both trying to feel each other out. Oh, what do you do? You know, this and that. What do you do? Yeah, this and that. So they're both kind of schemers, in my opinion. I think they're kind of very similar. You know, they both have girlfriends half their age, and they both probably did some shitty things in their life to get their money to afford trips like this. It's going to be really interesting to see the Gary storyline play out. And I have something I'm going to say towards the end about Gary that maybe gives us hope that he'll get caught. So a couple people I think could be the ones to get killed. Sorry, I gotta say it, Belinda, the one from season 1. She's a great character, and they hit us in the gut last season by killing Tanya. So maybe they could kill her off. Chelsea already had a scare with that, so I think she might be safe. And like I said, she's my favorite character, so I hope she doesn't die. Possibilities are endless, but it's still too early to tell. That's where you guys come in. What do you guys think? Who's most likely that gets killed? And how many people? I mean, in season 1, it was just one person. Season 2, they upped it a little bit. Is it going to be even more? I mean, it sounded like an all-out shootout, like multiple people shooting in that opening scene. So it could be multiple deaths, and it could be multiple main characters that get killed off as well. Some of my favorite moments are these ones when Jacqueline and Kate are talking about Laurie's daughter, and she says this.
Apparently, she's been kicked out of 2 schools. She throws furniture.
Throws furniture? Really? That's whisper down the lane shit. And Kate is the worst. I hate that type of person. You know that type of person in your life. You know someone like Kate in real life. So yeah, she's the worst. And then learning more about Rick. How about that? Really traumatic stuff. His mom overdosed when he was 10, and his dad was killed before he was even born. So that's rough, and maybe that sent him down the bad path that he's on, and we don't know much about his character, but he's shady. He's shady as shit. So there's something up with him, and we're going to learn more about that probably over the next few episodes when he goes to Bangkok. And we know that Jacqueline is married to a guy named Harrison, who's 10 years younger than her, that Kate swears they are never in the same state.
And then the whole thing with the husband. I don't think they ever see each other.
Kate just is a shit talker. Whenever she has the chance, she's going to talk shit on this person, and that person, and this person, because that's the way she is. She's the worst. And going back to the family love stuff, you know the word I'm trying to say. I can't say it because it's YouTube. When Lachlan is talking to Piper, he said, Saxon said, you never had sex. And he said it's weird because you're so hot. I have a sister. You don't talk that way about your sister. That's just weird. That's where I'm getting the vibes that they all want to bone. I mean, Piper, maybe not unless she wants to bone Lachlan. But Saxon, I feel like he would do either one of them in a heartbeat. And it's strange. Really strange shit, but entertaining. It really made me laugh when Fabian was talking about performing. Just the look on his face. I'll clip it right here.
I'm the boss. So, maybe?
He's a pretty funny guy and seems like a genuine character, so I hope he's not the one that gets killed at the end of the season. That would be pretty upsetting.
Maybe one day.
All right, so Gary, whatever. Greg Hunt is his real name. So Belinda, did you guys notice at the dinner scene, she looked at him and gave him the eyes like, do I know you? I know you, don't I? And then she was like, nah, I probably don't. But I think it's going to hit her the more she sees the guy. If she sees him again, maybe she goes up to him and says, were you ever at the Maui White Lotus? And why does this motherfucker keep going to White Lotuses? There's always death there. Why would you keep going back to a White Lotus when there's just death after death? I don't understand. But he loves them. He bought a house right up the hill from one of them. And then the scene when Kenny finally got in touch with Tim and they were talking. He's like, look, 29 agents raided my office. They have everything. Am I implicated, Tim says? He's like, yeah, you're implicated. So get a good lawyer yesterday. And listen to the way that this guy talks about money.
This was a favor to you, and I only made $10 million out of your stupid fucking scheme.
What's sad is there's real people in the world who look at money this way. 10 million? Only 10 million? And then he's like, fuck me on this, I'll kill you. I'll just do it myself. Fine, do it, you piece of shit. So we'll see what happens with that storyline. Really hope we get a scene from Key. He's a really good actor. I would love to see him actually show up in person, but I highly doubt it at this point with everything that's going on. Unless he goes on the run and he ends up in Thailand, maybe that's possible. We'll see. And then Rick is listening in on Svatala about her husband.
Oh, you live in Bangkok. Yeah, my husband's there. We come back and forth.
That's when he comes up with the idea that he's going to go follow him to Bangkok and he's going to leave Chelsea there, like I said earlier. So they're my top moments. That's my take on episode 2. But what do you guys think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Who's your favorite character? Who do you think is in trouble? Who do you think is going to get killed off by the end of the season? Because it's probably going to be more than one person. But I'll tell you what, if the White Lotus was a real place, I wouldn't book my stay there. All right, I'll talk to you guys next episode. Thanks for watching. See you.
Oh, and he's bald. And you're going bald?
I'm not going bald.
Okay.